So, hello there and welcome to another video about the Orange Micro Dark. I use the Orange Micro Dark mainly as my pedal platform amp, and it's my amp for home use only. I don't even use it for recording. I do that with plugins, but sometimes when you try to figure out stuff and write some new songs, I think it's more inspiring to run the pedal board into an amp instead of into my DAW. I had to throw in a Boss GE7 into the effect loop of the amp. Sometimes I cut out some lows at 200 and 400 to prevent it from getting muddy or having too much resonance going on in the room. But I also boost or cut something at 100 Hertz from time to time if I want to have more bottom end. But almost all of the time I boost a bit at the 3.2 and 6.4K to add a little more brilliance and a little bit more presence, which I really like. So for my guitar I'm using this Fender Mexican Telecaster, and my pedal board looks like this. I go into my TC Electronics Polytune. From there I just go into my ring thing and then into the noise suppressor, which has the Freeman and the Tumnus in the effects loop. From there I go to my Mural yellow comp, into the microcosm, the DD500, the slow reverb, and my electric harmonics looper straight into the front of the Orange. So the core sound of the Orange Micro Dark, as I would use it, sounds like this. Just totally clean, nothing's engaged, and with my tele pickups in the middle position. That's a good starting point. There's a video by Mark Johnson in which he explains how to achieve a good amp guitar sound, and he starts by shaping his dry tone before he starts to engage anything else on his pedal board, such as modulated and time-based effects like delay and reverb. I like to start with the GE7 in the effects loop, which sounds like this without the G7. And with the GE7. Without. With. What I like to do then is just adding a compressor, which in my case is the Mural yellow comp, and a bit of EQ, so it's more on the brightest side. So without the EQ, without the compressor, and with the compressor, without, with the compressor. It's just a small amount of high end which is added, but I think it adds more overall clarity to the sound, because without the yellow comp and without the GE7 it sounds like this. If I want to tweak it further, I would like to add the Tumnus, but just use it as a regular boost to add a little bit grid and a little bit more high into the sound. So without the Tumnus it sounds like this, and with the Tumnus I think that's the sound that I use most of the time, just to have a good base for everything else on the board, because some effects tend to muddy up your sound, such as reverb for example, or if you use a pretty warm delay which has too much bottom end in the repeats. So for fun, I'm just adding stuff, so I add some of the reverb from the Slö. A little bit shorter decay and some more of the high frequencies. That one's the rise algorithm. It doesn't hit you immediately with the reverb effect, so I'd like to have my guitar being dry for just a few milliseconds before it goes into the reverb. And adding a bit of delay, and I use a vintage digital delay algorithm from the D500, which sounds like this. So the orange micro dark is really great for stuff like this. If I use the Tumnus for more of an overdriven sound, it will sound like this. Bridge pickup. So I have to say that I really struggle to get a mic'd up sound with the overdrive distortion pedals that I really like, because as I said, normally I don't use amps for recording. I do it in my DAW using Guitar Rig and the newer DSP stuff. And I run my pedal board directly into my interface. The Tumnus, I think it's sounding not that bad, but the BEOD clone sounds pretty harsh, I think. So give it a try. Stop. I can't get the sound clips of the distorted tones sound near as good as it sounds here in my room, and I don't want to have this video showcasing some sounds that doesn't do the amp justice, so I will leave it this way. Anyway, I hope you got some useful information out of this video, and maybe you've been inspired to try that amp too, because this one really rocks. Thank you for watching. Bye.